Oh, good evening. Hello. So we're back to the flight sim. We're gonna try the Cessna 150, no, 172 today. How you doing, Tom? Are you good, mate? Hope you're well. So just a bit of a heads up. This is my home airfield. Not much, mate. How are you? That's how we've got to do it, is it? Ah, okay. So. One, and two, and three. Puts it at 20 degrees. Okay, cool. And one, and two. Good, my dude. Good, good. Have we got this the right way around? Have. Rudder pedals are right. Right, brake pedals on. We have a fuel selector in this one. And so we need a bit. Let's do a 10-degree flat, shall we? Ah, it's just being a right pain. Avoid slips with flaps extended. Ah, noted. Okay, cool. Like that. We will have strobes on, navs on, taxi off, landing on, beacon on. I'm off. We'll just do a quick run up here to about 1700 RPM. Alright, so we'll go left mag, about 100 drop, back to both. Right mag, about 100 drop, and no more than 50 between the two, so we're good there. Have we got a carb heat? Got pitot heat. Well, this doesn't have, because this has got to be an injected engine, then that's fine. Cool. So we'll power back just a little bit, and we'll take out a bit of mixture, not too much so we foul the engine. That's the point. Actually, we'll go back to the run up. Didn't check a few things. Alright, so amps are charging, pressure's good, temperature's good. So everything in this six-pack, not this one. Aha! Now, Shane, did you know that I was, or have been, in the process of gaining my PPL in the past? Bet you didn't know that one, did you? Alright, let's do the high five test. That don't seem right, does it? High five. High five. Ah, okay, now I'm being a tit. So I'm just gonna taxi and do a 180 around here. Just for this evening, that's all. Can't be arsed with it today. Is it gonna let us go all the way to the end? Yeah, baby. Oh, this handles fuck all like a Cessna 150. Kind of familiar, but not. We need to get you some sex. Oh, you're just jealous. I mean, I'm jealous of your sex life because you've got a wife and you can do those sex things. But the minute I touch somebody's wife, Jesus Christ, it's not allowed. It's just not fair. Alright, so we go right the way to the back. Bit of rudder in, bit of left hand foot down for the brake. Fantastic. Okie pokey. I didn't do the reference speeds in this plane. I don't actually know what they are. Right, okay. So takeoff speed 65 to 75, landing 58 to 52. Why they've put that? Stall speed 40 to 45, depending on flaps, I'm guessing. Alright, cool. 122, 300 on the comms. Yeah, we're not actually going to use comms, but again, it's practicing for real life. The checklist. No, that's that. Winds. Weather's what we need. So. Wicked, yeah. No wind! No meat are available. Alright. That cool. Right, I'll just have a look at the windsock. Hey Elliot, how you doing, buddy? Something with a happy ending. Hey, I don't know what you're all at. I have been learning to fly in the past, thank you very much. Let's put power in, so suction's good. Way, Shane, I like that one. Temps are good, bit more right rudder. It needs a bit more than my 150. Temperature's green, airspeed is alive. Sensitive as fuck. Let's bring her up. Nice and slowly, lovely. Right, we are. Go flaps up and that'll dip the nose slightly. And we'll do a climb of about 70 knots. Suction with a happy end. Yeah, you don't want loss of suction in one of these, mate. It's not a happy ending whatsoever. Alright, so I'm just going to dip the nose quickly, just to make sure there's no traffic in front. No, we are good. Bring that nose back up and let her find a 70 mile an hour. Was it knots on this one? Yep, knots. Okay, cool. 152 or 150 that I fly is miles per hour, that's all. Let's not get too slow, Matthew. Oh, bit of weather over there. Cool. We'll be fine with that. Right, so let's make our right hand turn, shall we? Yeah, you're right, actually. I do need to learn to fly. Right, standard rate turn to the right will do us. And we'll climb, what, 3,000 feet? Yeah, that sounds good to me. So want to be on about north east heading, really. Make him do a Rubik's Cube, for fuck's sake. Yeah, no, I'm not going to barrel roll this thing, mate. Cessna 172s are not made for barrel rolling. Like, really not made for barrel rolling. Oh, it's actually give us a flight plan. Okay. Alright, noted. But we'll let her climb. Well, we'll do 3,000 feet. I think that's a decent altitude to be. Roll her over. But why? See these high lift wings? Not made for aerobatics on this plane, mate. Right, so make sure everything's still looking good. Yes, 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 and yes. just to... Okay, so it looks like we've got a bit of wind. Okay, so actually, so if you see here, so this is my, I think it's called an ADI, or CDI, that's it. So, course direction indicator. So in a minute, as I fly back towards that magenta line here, that should then start lining up and tell us that we're on track. So we're just about to level out, so we'll go and do that. We will pull power back just a little bit. What, 2200? The nose still wants to come up a little bit. We'll hold the nose. Better climb anyway. Let's get up to 3000. How far can it go? How high can it go? Like I said, will it fit through a bando? No, but I've heard they don't interact well with World Trade Centres. What are we at here? Can push power in a little bit. She wants to climb. Don't want you to climb. You're not allowed to climb. Right, so that I should have it trimmed off now. Yeah, so I can now hands off fly. Right, so a bit of realism, right? It's not quite as obstructive in real life, but it is a little bit. Will that plane get you? No, and that's the reason I've got a flight simulator, mate, because I can't get a girl. Oh, look, I left a wallet on the floor. Oh, half an hour to get to Skegness from Peterborough, if only that was what it'd take by car. Cheaper than a girlfriend. I mean, it's got flaps. It does suction. It's a girl. It's a girlfriend, right? So technically, in real life, I wouldn't be able to fly here because we are flying into clouds and I'm not allowed to do that. So we'll bug our head in. That's brilliant. Can't see a fucking thing. Crash. Clouds ain't gonna hurt you, mate. No, but it's rules of VFR flying, mate. Don't be scared. I'm not scared of clouds. I'll be scared of my instructor if I go near him. In fact, he's retired now. I need to find a new instructor. Hope you're having a good one, Charles. No, I can't find where to turn those pissing things off. But yeah, anyway. Yeah, that's just really annoying. Yeah, I get it. Fuck off. So that should hold us on heading. Little fluffy clouds. Great track. Want to see the sea yet? Do you know what I like about this, right? Look, you can even Ace Ventura it, look out the window. Alrighty then. I'm not sure why. I'm pretty sure I can set that up. Oh, so you get autopilot trim. Fucking hell, that's posh. We'll lean a bit of mixture anyway, not much. Bring the mixture out just a If you were directly above him, how could you see him? What are we on about here? Directly above who? Ooh, okay. We're probably not getting 60 FPS at the moment. I have to put in for a bit of wind correction by the looks of it. Okay, yeah, sorry. We're a little bit different to Top Gun here, mate. You know, these things are way faster than an F-16. No, they're not. Well, clearly they're not fast, but actually, if you're flying one of these things, and you're early on in your flying training, which I fairly well am, it can be like sensory overload. It's really odd. Let's just get a fail digit to reduce some altitude. So what one for you, I'm going to keep my finger on the shaft, that little slidey shaft. If I keep my finger in the position of the power setting that we were at, I can then slide it back in. And then in a moment's time, and just hold that nose down because you'll want to climb. And we'll be about where we need to be. The wife is upset you didn't get the Top Gun. I'm sorry. I'm not quite as old as Shane. I wholeheartedly apologise. It's been a long time since I've seen that film, to be fair. A long, long time. Looks like fog, doesn't it? I tried to eat the fog once. Missed. Sorry, she said disappointed. Okay, well, that's your wife, not mine. I've apologised. That's all I can do. I'm sorry. Reason number 18, Matthew's single. Hello? Hello? Anybody? Gonna pack me lunch? Ah, I forgot to put my lunch in. So you get little sun flaps like you do in a car. Oh, little floodlights. Oh, ah, broken neck. So we're doing go a little bit right, of course, at the minute, but that's fine. She accepted. Well, thank you. That's many reasons to having to apologise quite a bit, aren't we? Okay, so we're currently on a northeast heading, which is about right for what we need. We'll have to make a course correction in a sec. Okie dokie, so RPM's good, pressure's good, vacuum's good, charging the battery. Never get why they put this one right down here. landing light can come off. We seem to be good. Maintaining altitude, oh, maybe just a little bit under. You said, don't let it happen again or else your goose. Until we know what happens. Yeah, it takes a bit of a nosedive, doesn't it, poor old goose? He ends up as goose fat potatoes, doesn't he? Okay, so be a little bit of wind here. Those are in just a little bit. So we've obviously got quite a headwind. So airspeed is 110 knots. Did it give us a ground speed? Ground speed 110. Right, okay. So let's have a look at the in-flight map. Let's see where we are. I mean, we're not bad for tracking here, are we? EGNI, which is Skegness Airfield. I have no idea what that does, so we'll just turn it off. That's where it was. Alright, so we've dropped 100 foot of altitude here. I would have been told off for that by my instructor. That's the most you're allowed to drop, so we've caught it. We'll just add a touch of power and that'll climb us ever so slowly. So if you watch here, the VSI, the vertical speed indicator, will go up ever so slightly. And it's such a small power increase that I've made, it is going to be a very slight climb. Just oh, pardon me. For those of you that don't know, the difference between airspeed, IAS, which is indicated airspeed, and the ground speed, is pretty much as it sounds. So the airspeed doesn't, indicated airspeed doesn't take into consideration winds, whether that's from behind or from the front. From behind, you kind of cover more ground, if that makes sense. You're being pushed by the wind. So you've got, so say we're doing 110 knots and we've got, say, a 20 knot tailwind. Our ground speed would be 130 knots. Conversely, 110 airspeed and we've got a 20 knot headwind, our ground speed would only be 90 knots. But basically that little thing there, that little knobbly bit that goes actually I couldn't use the mouse there, can't it? There. That's our, what we call a pitot tube, and that's what gives us our airspeed. So if that got blocked, I lose my airspeed. You never, ever want to lose your airspeed. But then in the case of that failure, I then go to backup. Yeah, so backup dials. In that case, so let's see if we can wipe out some of these clouds, because they're ruining it a bit, aren't they? That's better. We'll take the weather off, shall we? There we are. But at least we can see now. Oh, we've gone up to 3,000 feet, 3,500 feet here. Oh, whoopsie daisy. Alright. We'll stick there then. So actually this makes it a little bit easier for me, so cool. And we'll set her there. She'll climb ever so slightly and she'll find her pitch in a minute. And this is the wash. This is kind of out my way-ish. Okay, Google. Oh, phone's not on. Okay, Google. Yeah, so I don't think we're quite getting 60 FPS here. Let's see, shall we? General option. Right. Yeah, fuck it. Let's go for it. Yeah, no, that's a no. Well, maybe. My daughter said when I eventually get my pilot's license, the first thing she wants to do is go to beach like Peppa Pig did. Dead. Alright, so the plan is to follow the coast up. Cool. I don't think I'm going to bother with Warzone tonight, to be honest. Got a bit pissed off with it yesterday. Got a win, but seems to be hackers are back at the minute. That's really fucking annoying. interesting. So why is that not catching? Who are you and what have you done with my friend? Haha, you'll never know. No, don't do that. There was no need for that, was there? Fed up with getting hacked on, Shane, that's all. Like, I can't have a legitimate game because there's just loads of hackers. And that's so fucking irritating. Two 4-2 is my track. Oh, why does it do that? The 240, 241, 242. So let's try and hit that line, and that line then should centre up. Hackers don't matter to me because I'm shit. I'm not brilliant at the game, mate, but I just get absolutely sick of hackers. Now it's scrolled all the way in, hasn't it? No, for some reason that doesn't work. So that line on the CDI here, when we go over this line, it should then come back to centre, but it doesn't. That's stupid. Right, so that's obviously bugged in the game then. Or in the sim, sorry. Right, noted. Let's see where we are with flight map. Oh, so this is lying to me. Good to know. Wow. So to keep the plane level, because I am what we call VFR, visual flight rules, and that's how I'd be trained at first, I'm not allowed to just rely on the dials, I have to rely on my sight picture. So, you can't obviously see it here, but in real life I would put like either 2 or 3 fingers on the top of, I'm going to call it the dashboard, grease, and then that will denote my horizon, where my horizon sits compared to where my fingers are. So, say where I'm sitting, like 2 fingers is level flight, so then I'll get to sort of kind of memorise that, if that makes sense. Okay, so I'm intentionally going to put EGNI, which is Skegness, on my left. So it should be over here somewhere. So I'm just going to decrease some altitude a little bit, but pull the power back, keep pulling back on the yoke so the speed drops off. Just want about a 500 foot a minute descent rate, which will be about there. Have a look. Hey, not far off, that'll do me quite nicely. Descent rate's creeping up a little bit. It'll level itself out. EGNI, so we're apparently over the top of it pretty much. I don't think it's picking up all my tracking. There it is. Okay. So we have got it in sight now. So I'm going to do a low approach because I don't think we've got the wind information, have we? Test camera. No point with ATC because they've not got anything on. Flight assistant, EGNI. Yeah, that's cool. So we have no idea what the winds are, that's really good. So we're just coming out of 2,300 foot here. So I can see it just over here, I believe to be the airfield. So we're just going to do a nice standard rate turn. Again, just a reminder, standard rate turn is what all aeroplanes use, no matter of a size. Obviously it differs on each plane, but the point is to standardise how quickly the plane turns so you can control traffic. So a standard rate turn will allow me to do a 180-degree turn in 30 seconds. So when you're in an airliner and they're holding patterns, each turn is 30 seconds. Should be turning out, not look at that. So there's the runway, so you can see like a U-shaped lake. So we're a little bit right of centre line, but nothing too drastic. Right, so we'll bring that power on back a bit more. We'll wait for the airspeed to dip into the arc, white arc. I can now put in flaps. It will go to flaps 20. Not ideal, but it will do. I'm just going to pull power for a minute and just watch that airspeed. Yeah. So we'll do a full 360 turn. Put a bit of power in. Unclear in turns, but fine, there's no traffic around. So again, a standard full rate standard rate turn, full 360. I might just go over, looking at my altitude. Yeah. Just lessen that descent a little bit. So to lessen descent, I add a bit of power. The hand's always staying on the throttle, just watching that altitude, but looking outside. Making sure my angle where my horizon intercepts the dash. Too much. This is the disadvantage to a high wing. So we just need to keep carrying this turn around. And in the next 10 seconds or so, okay, so we're a little bit shy. Okay, we've still got time to correct this, so we'll go full flaps. It will want to bring the nose up, that's fine. I'm going to want to keep 70 knots. And a 500-foot descent rate. Going a bit low, so a bit of power in. But not too much. Nice long runway here. Bring her in. So we'll be landing a little bit long, but that's fine. Got plenty to play with. We pull the power and we just hold her off. Hold her off. Hold her off, and beautiful. Brakes with straight. Lovely. Flaps up. Take off. It's even simulating a bit of wet grass. Quite funny. And we'll just taxi back. There's no taxiways on here, so you have to taxi back on the runway. So it'll be what we call a Unicom frequency. So it'll be a standard frequency that's used throughout this part of the UK. I would then make my calls that I was on approach to runway, basically, and I'd call, okay, there's a taxiway there. I'd call myself as on the runway at the moment, so I could be calling back taxi into any traffic in the air. Have a little bit of room to turn it around. We've got a long enough runway where we can take off with no flaps. So she'll want to pull to the left because of what we call P factor. And she's getting light and wants to fly. 3, 2, 1. And let's just give her a little bit of a gentle reminder. She needs to fly. And up we go. Beautiful. So we'll do some traffic patterns. Great if we could bug that right round, but no, it's going to be a right pain to me. Jesus Christ. Be about that. But we'll just do our clearing turns, look under the wing, and we'll go standard rate turn to the left. Get to 1,000 foot. I'm going to start pulling back a bit power. Got to climb over 1,000 feet. Pattern altitude is usually 1,000 feet. We don't be going too fast today. We're just staying in the pattern. Not helpful that I can't see that. Right, so I'm going to have to go like that. Piss off. Nothing's ever easy, nothing ever sets itself. That's better, that's better. So we'll just fly adjacent to it. Wanting to climb. Not allowed to climb. So again, I'm 100 foot over. This is where my instructor will be, oi! You're 100 foot over. What do you think you're doing? Sorry, sir. I would say in real life, it's not as hard to see the runway. Try it at night. Should we put it to current time, shall we? What time are we now, guys? 23:35. Ah. Perfect. So this is what it would look like at night. Right, let's do a little bit of maintenance. Yeah, so we'll take that off. Oh, I can't remember how we do it on these. Isn't there a glare shield? There we are. Bit there. Oh, too much. Just one would do. There we are. That's all we need. So we'll turn her in. Pull back on the nose just a touch, just to get the nose up. That's it. Keep her level. Good power setting here. It's on about 2200 RPM. It's on here. Oh, 21. So we're quite far out this time. That's fine. I don't think Skegness has landing lights. So, caravan parks down there, home of the Chavy holiday. I fucking love them. I'm not even a chav. But I would say, is that the horseshoe thing there? I'm feeling too confident about this. There a distance then. What? Aggressive. Oh, I can't see that one bit. That's just down there. That it? I'd say right over the top of it. That would agree. Okay, cool. We got this. Again, you would never, ever land without lights. Runway lights. Heard the engine note dropping then. Should we go for a low fly over Skeggy? FAA would totally fuck us up here for 400 foot over Skegness. Gain a little bit of altitude. I can't see anything, can you? We'll just dump full flaps in. Fly slow. Right underneath it. Okay, yeah, I recognise that light. Alright, flaps in. Power, we don't climb yet. Build speed. And then we climb. So we've got a bit of wind. Let's see if we can spot an airport on the way. I'm going to hedge my bets at that right out in the distance. I'm just going to duck my nose quickly. There is an airport. So we're going to fly to that. So we'll bug our heading. About a west heading, I think, for that. If I do that, will it? Don't know. Let's get a climb in anyway. Let's get up to 2,000 feet, that'll be sufficient. $100 knots. God, that's the maximum a Cessna 150 or 152 will do. Difference between the 150 and the 152? Wingspan. Difference between the... not wingspan, actually. That's wrong. But the square foot of wing that there is. So, for a Cessna 152, there's 152 square foot of wing. Cessna 150, 150, Cessna 172. You guessed it, 170 square foot of wing. That should be about level flight. It will just plan itself out in a sec. So because we're at a high power setting, you can see the plane wanting to roll. So this is what we call P-torque, pop torque. For some reason, Microsoft Flight Simulator really lays that on thick. It's not as bad as that in real life. There we are. So on this approach, we'll have the use of PAPIs, which basically will help me with my vertical guidance. Depends on the sort of PAPIs. It'll either be 2 red and 2 white lights. Sorry, you'll have lights in a row, or you'll have them staggered. One further away, one closer to you. And we'll see in a moment which one it will be. But basically, if you get 4 reds, you're too low. 4 whites, you're too high. Your optimum is 2 red, 2 white. We can go 3 red or 3 white because we are a small plane, low approach speed. It won't matter too much. Making my way downtown. So what airport are we going to? Is it going to tell us? EGXC. Orange? Nah. What's EGXC? Oh, it's Coningsby. Oh, it's an RAF base. Perfect. Let's touch down at an RAF base. They won't mind. Going more just that way. Right, so let's put her in a heading hold, shall we? So we'll tap the autopilot on in heading mode. Cool, yep. Nav, altitude mode. So she'll hold altitude hold. So I can now concentrate on going into here. I've not operated one of these for a long time. Okay, we'll just do it visually. That's cool. Ah. Okay, cool. Have a quick look outside. Have a look that way. Landing light needs to go on. Can't fucking see it because that thing's in the way. Landing light is on. We'll bug the head in just a little bit. No, we won't. It'll just zoom. Can't take the autopilot off manually. And that's just the alarm to tell me that the autopilot is off. Ah, okay, so at the outer distance marker you can hear going. So if you have a look, center console, you'll see a blue light flashing. So that's the outer distance marker. Right, coming in, holding off altitude, bleeding airspeed. We're high, but that's fine. And dumping flaps. We can drop the nose. A bit more in a minute. So in a minute we will get the middle marker and then we'll get the inner marker. Didn't realise these were actually modelled in Flight Sim. Genuinely impressed. There's no puppy lights here, so that didn't expect that. Just got to keep an eye on that airspeed. I can't go above 85 with flaps. I'm going to control my airspeed with pitch. And I've got a finger on the shaft. Obviously you can't see it in sim, but when I put the power back in, it will resume my power setting and therefore my descent rate. Want something just a little bit more healthy now. That should put us back in a second about 500 foot descent rate. Let's just watch that airspeed. Perfect. So we're just watching her in, we're keeping our speed. So we're going to land a little bit long here. Again, that's fine. We've got a little bit of energy transfer. So we're at 80 knots. Start bringing the power back a little bit more. Middle marker, lovely. Managing that speed. Sinking a little bit. Little bit of power, not too much. And we've got a little bit of wind, so we'll pull power, hold her off, ballooning a little bit, but that's fine, hold her off. Oh. Little bit of power to help out. All it means. Jammer here. I try to find Connington. Dan. Put parking brake on. If I can remember how to work this. EGSC is Cambridge. EGSP is Peterborough Simpson. GSN? How you doing? That will come out to work it. Again? Yeah. EGSF, of course it is. Oh, as if I didn't know that. Oh. Hmm. Okay, so direct to is this non-functional? I can't remember how you do this thing. That's fine. Do this another way. Take off. That no longer does parking brake off. Fantastic. Okay, so was alive, airspeed is alive, suction's good, pressure's good, battery charging. Take a little bit of rudder out, not much. And lift her off. She goes. Alexa, living room lights off. Alexa, living room lights. Alexa, L1 off. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to travel west. So we'll go up to about 2,000 feet. I think that'll be fine. We'll take the landing light off. The RPM. Lovely. So she's climbing quite nicely. Right, we'll up that rate of climb a little bit. So we'll pull the nose back and trim for it. Lovely. Then we'll just nose up a little bit more. That's a beautiful climb rate, that. Ah, no, I did it like that. Cool. That's lovely. That's how we'll have it. We'll have 2,500 foot, I think. At 2,300 RPM. Let that speed build. I've just got to push the yoke in a little bit whilst it does that. Keep a level. And just feed a little bit of trim in just so I don't have to keep pushing in. That should be lovely. So we've got a little bit of a headwind. If you can see, our indicated airspeed is about 110 knots. 105 actually, sorry. Oh, got a bit of a tailwind. That's cool. that nose up because it tends to drop whilst we're in a turn. Lovely. Oh, popper there. Flying quite nicely. What are we flying towards here? Oh. One thing I'd love to do would be fly at night. That'd be the first thing first thing I'd do after I pass my test would be a night rating and then IFR, so I could fly in clouds. You don't get the rating to fly in clouds, you get the rating in case you fly into clouds. You never really want to do it. Especially in these little things. I don't like it. EGYE will be Barkston Heath, apparently. I've flown here drones in a World Cup race. And I had a guess that's going to be Wittering over there. We'll see in a minute. Well, would you look at that? So we've only got about 14 gallons of fuel left. Now, one thing you talk about Cessnas is never to trust the fuel gauge. That's why you see people dip in the tanks. Barkston Heath over there. Let's just check to see if I'm going to be right. Coningsby. Oh. Yeah. Aha. That gives me an idea of where I am. Don't let that nose drop, Mr. Neil. I think we'll put it down at Coningsby. Got about 13, 14. Left, I think. Cool. Okay, Parker. So, roll around. Don't need that, thank you. Landing and taxi guides would be good because that's what I'd be asking ATC for. So we'll just carry on till we get over there. Lovely clear evening out. Look at that. This does take live weather, so this is what we would be seeing right now. So aeroplane is beautifully trimmed. So if you look down here, I mean, my feet always have to stay on the rudder pedals, but our vertical speed indicator will fluctuate ever slightly. That's just how it goes. That's at 0. We're not climbing. Our airspeed is constant. We're not turning. We can tell that A by the compass and B by the turn indicator. Wonder what this little ball is here. So when I turn and don't input rudder, you'll see that ball will slip out. So I'm effectively drifting at the moment. That's not what you want to do. Again, if I turn that way, again, drifting, that's not good. A little bit better. So to coordinate our turns, you put in just a little bit of rudder as well. Just to keep that turn coordinated. Now, as you roll, little bit of rudder, a bit more. Bit rusty on my what they call lazy 8s or S turns. Yeah. So in the event that we lose, for instance, our altitude indicator, if that goes down, and when at the moment we're VFR, that's fine. We can look out the window. We can tell if we're going up or down. If you're in the clouds and that goes, not a great place to be. And then you've got to do an instrument scan. So you check your head and you make sure you're not turning. You make sure your turn coordinator is telling you you're not turning. Your speed's not increasing, your VSI is not increasing, and your altitude is not decreasing or increasing. Because when you're in clouds, you can see absolutely fuck all. Alright, so we're going to have to make a circling approach because my indicated airspeed is less than my ground speed, which tells me I've got a tailwind. So you always land into the wind. So we would enter at 45 degrees into the traffic pattern, which is about what we are, about 45 degrees, give or take, off landing. So we would make a call to, in this case, the air traffic control with our intention. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to roll it out. So you check there's nothing in the pattern, nothing joining. Yeah, so I'll make a nice coordinated roll, turn to the right, pull back so the nose doesn't want to drop. And we'll fly this heading. keep her out a little bit. And 2,500 should be a good altitude, and that should be about now. Okay, so fuel, we are looking about 12 gallons. So, and the nice thing is we've got 2 fuel tanks. They sit in the wings there and there. Some planes you get slightly inboard extras as well, not on this model. And the nice thing we can see is that they are both going down equally. But again, never 100% trust a Cessna fuel gauge. Okay, and all we're going to do now is fly a nice straight course alongside the runway. So airspeed we are looking at 105 and ground speed 111, so we've got a 5 to 6 knot tailwind. Again, normally I would be either getting the ATIS, which is the Automatic Terminal Information Service, and that is just a weather update that plays on a continuous loop, so it's recorded, and it will give you a letter at the end as to what hour that particular ATIS relates to. So when I then announce, I'll say in this case, Coningsby, this is, what am I? Tower number. So we just call ourselves, what's one that I use in real life? Bravo X-ray uniform. Yeah, Bravo Alpha X-ray uniform. I'll be saying downwind for runway, I'll probably say about 25, 26, with information Bravo, for example. That tells the air traffic controller that I've got the current weather, so he doesn't have to give that to me. He knows I've got the relevant information. Sometimes you'll get the ATIS and it'll be a few minutes before you can reach ATC, or you're 50 miles out and it might have changed. So at that point I'd check in. So yeah, I'll check in as Bravo X-ray, Bravo Alpha X-ray Yankee, information Bravo. He'll go, yeah, got you on radar. Information is now Charlie. So I'll be okay. Once you've been addressed by air traffic control, you can then just use your last 2 digits. So I've got, okay, X-ray Yankee will attain Charlie in a moment. So he knows then I'm looking to get the information that he needs. Okay, so I can see the taxiways at the moment. We are altitude 2,400, so a slow descent, which is fine. But I might just bring power out just 500 RPM, and that'll put me in a nice slow descent. Again, you always check in traffic, much more so when you're at a non-controlled airport, which is what I fly from. Well, technically it is. No, technically it is. I take that back. So fuel, we are down to just over 5 gallons per tank. So this is the minimum you want to be going down to, really. You ideally want, minimum is 45 minutes additional fuel. I personally would have an hour. Just because the legal minimum is 45 doesn't mean that I would feel comfortable in 45. No. If I get stuck on top of clouds, if something happens that the airfield I'm going to has had a plane crash it and I have to divert, I want to know that I've got an hour's worth of fuel that I can sit and circle, or I can say, hey, 80 seat, you know, need to go to the alternative. Alright, so let's start bringing that round now. So let's start bringing the power back. So we'll just keep the nose up for the minute, just so that airspeed bleeds. And then that'll allow me to put in my flaps once it goes less than 85 knots. Goes. That's where I want to be, about there. Pitching for a bit of altitude here. There we are, that should be about right. Lovely. Need to turn that a little bit more. It looks like we may have pappy lights on this one. Fuel is getting down, so we're still above 5 gallons. So even, let's say for instance, I have to do a go around. I want to know that I've got enough fuel to do the go around and not have to worry, you know. So just checking, nothing else is entering the traffic pattern. At this point, I would call the X-ray uniform, turn in final for 24 full stop. I think that was just a, yeah, Jupiter. It's really difficult to spot traffic when you're flying. It really is. Probably easier at night. During the day, woo! Not easy. Did we go landing light on, did we? I can't remember what we did. Landing lights on. Alright, so no pappy lights, that's fine, but we're on a good heading. Possibly a little bit low. But we can fix that. A bit more power just to even her up a little bit. A little bit of power back. Get us slowed. Lovely. 80 on approach is perfect. Yeah, 80 is a nice setting to be at. Again, you might hear me changing the pitch of the engine. Contrary to popular belief, you're not pulling back, and it's not a big plane. So I'm adjusting my pitch with engine power. And just keeping her in. Okay, so we're ballooning a little bit, that's fine. The controls in the flight sim are a lot more sensitive than real life. A lot more sensitive. fact, let's put this in and you'll see what I mean, that I'm not actually moving the yoke that much backwards and forwards. Nose it down a little bit. That's we've got a bit of airspeed to play with. And we'll just hold her off, hold her off, hold her off. Left wheel goes down first. That's where the wind is. Lovely. Just like that. Check your mic, super quiet. Sorry. Not too bad. Not too bad, thank you. Is it the mic that's quiet or hold on? Is that any better? Put it all the way to the top, shall we? There we are. How about that? How's that? Been 2 years since my last real life flying lesson. Ah, sweet. Right. What we got? What I've got actually enough. So, suction is good. Pressure's good. Airspeed is alive. Trim is set. Did forget to take that. Got to adjust the sensitivity on these rudder pedals actually. They're a little bit overboard. Take her off. Oh yeah, oh wicked. I'm learning to fly in a 150 Aerobat. Real life. Out of Sibson in Peterborough. Yeah, it's a... I can't remember what the speed is for this. 70... 75 is it for takeoff? One of the first times I've flown a 172. I'd say I'm a bit rusty, so you know, any and all criticism is very much welcome. So I'm just going to make my turn, check under that wing, we're good, check under that wing, we're good, going to make the crossfield turn now. Start pulling that power back a little bit, level her out. Putting the wrong bloody thing. Yeah, my flight instructor, he's retired now, but he was 6'4". I mean, I'm only 5'9". And I still sat very, very much shoulder to shoulder with him. It's comfortable. It's a bit of a squeeze. You don't get cold. 6. Jesus, yeah. I have a friend that's always wanted to be a pilot, and he is 6'7". We call him 6 foot, but he's 6'7". He's huge. It like, you know, he'd have no, he'd have no luggage. No luggage allowance. So again, we'll just check. That's good. Roll her into a standard rate turn. So how long have you been flying? Whereabouts do you fly real life? I've only got about, I think it's 7 hours before I had to, before COVID and money, unfortunately. Oh, fuel, yeah. Take your shoes off, please, mate. Just in your pants. He's a big chap. He's not only tall, he is big. He's a very, very big man. Starting to climb a little bit. I can see that where the horizon is. Lovely. Chicago suburbs, airport called Mistake. Lake in the Hills. 3CK. Ah, 2001. Ah, fantastic. Do you fly commercially, or is it just purely for fun? Oh dear. My flight instructor will be telling me right off now. Too high. I only have PPL and nothing else. Night rating or instrument rating? I mean, it's a lot cheaper to fly, isn't it, in America? UK, Europe, it is ridiculously expensive. Bit over a standard rate turn there, I think. Just getting used to the sight picture of this 172. It's, believe it or not, it's quite different from the 150. Oh, nice. Oh, the retractable gears. I don't know how I feel about that. I like my fixed gear. No, I love steam gauges. They look. I don't know. I'm the same. You know, when I pass real life, I'd like to navigate VOR if possible. Have GPS as standby, by all means. Put a bit of power back. Get some flaps in. Should be about flaps 20. Yeah, that's cool. Make our final turn. Watch that airspeed, mister. What about tech? My profession is in tech. Yeah. It just feels like flying, doesn't it? I wouldn't want to fly commercially as such. It's that I haven't passed my test to sit there and monitor, you know what I mean? I want a hand fly. Getting a little bit long. I'm just getting used to this 172. Round around. And pull power. Oops, sinking a little bit. That's fine. We caught it. Off. Off. Okay, a little bit sloppy on the landing, but it'll do. I think we'll call it there because fuel is not ideal. Flaps up, take off there. Roll only, you still got to do trim and do rudder. Yeah, my instructor, I think, is quite, well, was. He's always quite firm with his rudder. Rudder! I never got to 3 rudder instructions. Okay, yeah, rudder's there. Don't panic. Rudder's coming. How'd you find stalls? I hate them. Oh. Dip your nose as soon as you feel the stall. Not a problem. I hate that negative G feeling. Oh, we'll just go to the end thing. Oh, no. No, 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 no. No, no, no. I hate stalls. Absolutely disgusting. Not a thing. Power on. No. P-talk, roll. That's me trying to fucking puke. No. If you don't practice getting into stalls, you practice getting out of them. No problem. When he tells me nose down, nose goes down. You better believe it. Nose goes down. Alright, we'll take it off here, shall we? Oh, it's a bit of a... Oh, well. It's fine. It's all good. Taxi lights on. My peripheral. Rapid descents are lots of fun too. Controlled rapid descents. Let's just get this right. I think if it was an uncontrolled rapid descent, I don't think I'd be sharing the fun. I remember on one of my lessons, forgot to set the friction ring on the mixture. Yeah. I only done that one once. Climbing about 2,300 foot. We were going through clouds at the time. We did have flight following, which is what you get in this country. I don't know if you have the same thing in America. But yeah. Requested flight. A basic service is what we call it over here, sorry. Yeah, it's flight following over where you are, isn't it? And it's a basic service here. So we got that from local air traffic control. So we're about 1,500 foot was yeah, I can remember which one it was. But yeah, so 1,500 foot the clouds came in. All right, that's cool. We can deal with that. That's not a problem. Yeah, and about 2,500 foot, I hear the engine just slowly starting to dial back on the RPM. I'm just like, and there's that fudge factor, isn't there? Is that like, fuck, what's going on here? So first thing I do, check the throttle. That's at the firewall. That thing is right. Okay, I check mixture. Mixture's out, isn't it? So I push it in. There's no resistance whatsoever on that. I've done that once. Your instructor will also do that to you on purpose. See what... Ah, okay. I don't think he did, but good to know. Thank you. That was a horrible moment, that was. Yeah. Yeah, I've heard of them pulling throttle on you, especially when you're in a turn, when you're not looking. Heard about that one. Beacon can stay on, nav and strobes can come off. Mixture. Off. Hey, excuse me. Excuse me. Thank you. Off. Beacon off now. Lovely. And there we go. That was avionics first, wasn't it? Avionics went off this side, and then master was this side. I was just checking they were off, so I couldn't tell. Don't want to cause a surge on the radios. No. You don't want to do that. No, radios went off, or avionics went off first. And so I went avionics, which are the white switches, your masters, and then the key. No, no, I definitely didn't, because I went mixture, because I'll go from right to left. I'll have to rewatch the stream, but I'm pretty sure I went that one, those two, masters, and then that. Making me doubt it now. I'm confident in myself. Really. I thought you had done master then over. No, 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 no. I worked from left to right on that one. Sorry, right to left. My bad. Literally, my throttle was already at idle, so I pulled mixture, which obviously cuts the engine. Well, did all my lights first, should I say, apart from my beacon. Did me mixture, then went across to the avionics, then went across to the master. Yeah, definitely, definitely, definitely. If I got it wrong, hey, I'll take it. I'll take it on the chin. But I'm pretty sure I didn't. You should be able to rewind the stream. Have a look. Let's have a gooses. I hate lists. Oh, why can't I do that? Okay, does it let you do it on Twitch? Just stream Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube. Have a look. I like to get things right. I like to do things right. No. I can hear myself. That's a no-no. Well, thanks very much, mate. I thought I'd do something different. I do miss flying in real life, but being a single parent, working full time as well, it can't happen at the minute, and it's chuffing expensive in the UK. Really expensive. I pay £150 an hour, which I'm going to hazard a guess of about 170, $180 an hour, something like that. Yeah, that's why, and that's why I got the setup. Was when I first started out, I wanted something to keep me proficient, and like I say, if I make a mistake, I hit the reset button. £145 an hour here, yeah. So probably about 110, £115. So yeah, you're already 35, 40 quid cheaper. That's cool. No, I'm 99.9% sure I did the avionics first. I've got two. I've got two older that I don't see, unfortunately. That's my choice. Such is life. Yeah, mine are 7 and 8. The mums at the moment. We share 50-50 custody these days. I did have them full time for 3 years, but she's better now. So we share 50-50. But my son contracted COVID last week. He's been alright, bit sick, but on the road to recovery. Then the kid's mum got it, and it was like there's no point bringing them back here for me to get it. And my daughter's got it, so yeah, it's gone around 3, 8, 10, and 11. How many months between the 10 and 11? So my two are 7 and 8, and there's only 30 months between them. Not much at all. I love the expendable 172 as well. Just think, if you have an engine now, you just jump out with your parachute, don't you? Oh look, evening. 12 in April. Ah, not long then. 3 days. Okay, that's good. That's good. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I usually stream Warzone. I laugh with mates and do a bit of sniping on there, but it's just full of hackers at the minute, and it's not very fun. And some Star Trek Voyager. Wow, that is going back some. So I'm gonna say you're probably in your 40s. Forgive me if I'm wrong. I'm 37. I'm gonna say you're about 45. Don't hurt me. In fact, no, what you got? A 3, 8. I'm gonna dial that back. I'm gonna say you're 40. Oh, you're 47. Well, there you go. I gave you a compliment. There you go. That's a good way to end it. Right, I'm going to get off anyway. It's good to meet you. Thank you ever so much for dropping in and critiquing. I'm not one of these proud pilots. If I get something wrong, I put my hands up. I work within fraud. I'm basically an insurance fraud analyst. So honesty is absolutely key. Yeah, look after yourself, my friend. Stay safe, and probably catch you soon. Catch you later, mate. Cheers. Bye bye. Oh, thank you for the follow. I'm just going to say that. Thank you ever so much, my friend. Look after yourself, buddy. Take care.